The PowerStop Z23 Evolution Sport front brake rotor and pad kit is for those of you that have a 1990 to 1998 YJ or TJ, and even the 1998 TJ that has a 3¼ inch rotor, that are looking for an increased braking power in the front of your Jeep without needing to change steering knuckles and actually go with a larger rotor. Now, this isn't going to give you quite as much additional braking power as one of those big brake kits will, but this will be an improvement over factory, and if you need to replace your brakes anyway, this is going to be a very cost-effective way to replace all those components and still get a little bit more braking power. This install is going to be a 2 out of 3 wrenches, and I'll talk you through that installation in just a second. So PowerStop is known for their brakes. What they do a really nice job of is making a very good pad that's going to give you lots and lots of grip, and in a case like this, actually pairing that pad with a rotor that are going to work very, very well together. So what you're going to get here is a rotor that is both drilled and slotted. And the drilled and slotted rotors are going to give you a little bit more performance because they give an area for the gases that are produced during heavy braking to escape. So instead of that gas being trapped between the pad and the rotor itself, which can degrade the friction there, this allows the gas to escape, so you get really good pad to rotor contact, giving you the best braking power possible. Now, some people don't like drilled and slotted when they're off-road. It gives a spot for mud and other debris to get hung up in the rotor. So if you're somebody who plays in the mud a lot and you're of that mindset, there are going to be some options out there with a solid rotor. But if you spend more time on the street and on the rocks, and you subscribe to the idea that this is going to provide you with better braking, then this is going to be a really nice choice for you. So as we're talking about the rotors, we're also going to talk about fitment one more time. As I said before, this is going to fit a YJ and a TJ from 90 to 98, and also some of the 99 TJs. So what Jeep did was actually change this distance a little bit here from the hub surface to where the rotor itself actually sits in between the caliper. So if you get the wrong set of rotors, things are going to bind up, they're not going to fit, they're not going to work for you. So do make sure that you're getting the right ones for your Jeep. If you have a 99, which is that crossover year, you can take a measurement off of your existing rotor, check for that 3¼ inch measurement. If you have that, these are going to fit. If you don't, you're going to want to just go with a different SKU to make sure that you're getting the proper rotors for your Jeep. So that was a lot about the rotors. Let's also talk about these pads. Again, PowerStop has a lot of different pads out there. They're designed for different things. These are going to be a sport set, so they are designed for driving on the street. They are designed to have a little bit of heat in them and continue to work really well for you. They're going to be a ceramic composite, so they're not going to be as dusty as some of the other brakes out there. So overall, this pairing is going to work really, really well for you. Again, you're not going to get as much additional braking power over factory as you would with one of those big brake kits, but you are going to get some additional friction here, which is going to give you a little bit more braking power. I think that this is a very fairly priced kit here. This comes in at right around that $135 mark. I think that if you're replacing your rotors and your pads with factory components, you're probably going to be in and around that price range anyway. And if you're going to go ahead and upgrade to something that is going to be drilled and slotted and something that is going to be ceramic, I think this is going to be a pretty good deal for you. So overall, pretty fair price. This install is going to be a 2 out of 3 wrenches. You're going to jack up the Jeep, supported with jack stands. Of course, you definitely want to be safe there. Pop the tires off. You'll unbolt the caliper from the caliper bracket, then the caliper bracket itself, get that out of the way. You'll be able to slide the rotor off, pop the new rotor on. Before you put the caliper back in the caliper bracket, of course, you'll swap out your pads, bolt the caliper bracket and the caliper back up to the steering knuckle, and you're done. The nice thing about doing a brake job like this, where you're not changing the caliper or anything about it, is you're not cracking open the brake system, so no need to bleed anything out at all. Just put everything back together and you're good to go. Now, all that being said, some people, even when they do a brake job like this, will want to bleed the brake system. You can have some brake fluid that ends up really close to the caliper in the caliper. That does get pretty hot, so it is a good idea, especially when you are compressing that caliper to put in a new set of pads and moving some of that fluid around, to go ahead and add some fresh fluid, bleed it out, but that's completely up to you. For this installation, you absolutely do not need to bleed the brakes. So overall, I think you're going to get a very nice kit here from PowerStop that is going to give you some additional braking power, and you can find it right here at extremeterrain.com.